A human being being sliced into two. Can you imagine such a thing? Biafra is going to emerge as a nation. You know, despite the support of Britain, Russia, Egypt, and some other friends of Nigeria, we all will surely come out as a nation because we are fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall never go back to Nigeria again. God's grace will surely emerge as a nation. And so, as far as this war continues, we'll fight to the last man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, His Excellency Ekpa Simon Njoku. Thank you.
Thank you from
Finland and beyond. When God say it is time,
Yes.
no man can stop it. When we started, some media houses wrote all manner of rubbish against me. And even when we know that those things were wrong, we themselves know that those things were wrong, they wrote all those nonsense against me, thinking that that would demoralize me. Rather, it made me more stronger.
Yes.
To continue to do the undoable.
Yes.
Until when God said they will correct it. That doesn't move me because I know one of the biggest challenges of freedom fighters has always been blackmail.
Mm-hmm.
The government you are fighting will always blackmail you. They will always project you to be the most wanted terrorist in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But if you stay clean and stay on the course and you know what you are doing,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you'll be victorious.
Yes.
It will always be difficult, but at the end, you are going to win.
Yes.
Every freedom fighter, every people that have gotten their independence through struggle, whether it is by arms struggle or by political means, it has always been like that. And sometimes, a lot of people may not stand the pressure that comes with the government-sponsored blackmail and propaganda, and they give up. I have one mission in this life. It is to be recognized as one of those who liberated Biafra and brought civilization to Africa. Because Biafra will be the beginning of civilization in Africa. And with the resources we have, little resources we have as a government in exile, with the strength we have put so far, that will show you where we are going.
Yes.
If we happen to have independence, control our resources, bring the type of leadership and state structure we are looking for, believe me, you will know that Biafra will be the beginning of civilization in Africa.
Yes.
We want to change the system, how they see Africa people. We want to change that particular subjugation where no African country have visa free to Europe. While the resources that is being used to power the economy of Europe is coming from Africa.
Mm.
But there is no single Africa that have visa free to Europe. Brazil has nothing to offer other than agriculture. Brazil has visa-free to Europe. Africa don't. Because people that are leaders in Africa are non-entities. People that doesn't even know what international law means. People that don't know anything about international policy. People that doesn't know anything about how to play international politics. All they do is to go into power to make money for themselves and their families. They don't think about how to better the life of the citizens. They don't think about how to make the life of their citizens equal to those in the Western world. Equality is nothing to them. Even within their own country, they marginalize their own fellow citizens, turn them to second-class citizens in their own countries. Not to talk of fighting for your equal right elsewhere. So what we are bringing to the table is to make sure that as an African, first as a Biafran, you will be respected anywhere you go with Biafra passport in the world.
Yes.
We have the resources. They need us more than we need them.
Yes.
And for that reason, our brain will work for us. It is either you agree with our policy or you don't. We'll give you condition, how we can do business with you, make us your friend, we become your friend. You benefit from what we have, we benefit from what you have. But you must learn to respect the citizens of Biafra.
Yes.
You must understand that what we are laying, the foundation we are laying today, is the foundation to eradicate anything forgery. Unlike Nigeria, where forgery, the highest forger, takes it all. I want to tell a story of how Nigeria, Biafra genocidal war affected our people today. During the war, Nigeria blockade of Biafra cost a lot. And it is one of the catalysts to what we are going through today, especially on the issue of fraud in Nigeria. It started when one of the Biafra soldiers who was trying to evade recruitment, he forged a leaf and wrote the statement for himself, carved the stamp of the Biafra army and put on those statements that he has been given a leave not to be recruited on description to fight against Nigeria. Upon presenting the document he forged by himself, they accepted him and gave him a leave. Maybe I will have to the survival con from many researchers, fraud and forgery in the Republic of Biafra. What I want to assure Biafra people today is that if you do not know your history, you are living like somebody without foundation. You must be able to know the past to be able to solve the present and prepare for the future. Over the course of the Nigeria-Biafra genocidal war of 1967 to 1970, many people in the secessionist Republic of Biafra, they call it, and then resorted to forgery. to be able to survive. They also engaged in other form of fraud. You know, when I was telling Biafran people that the only problem that we Biafra people have today is caused by Nigeria. And the only thing that will solve that problem is the disintegration of Nigeria. When Biafra will pull themselves from Nigeria, the spirit of Nigeria will leave them. The reason being that everything you see happening today to Biafrans is being manipulated by the Nigeria state system. The system is evil. The system is designed to breed criminals. The system is in a way that without crime, you can never make it in Nigeria. So it is not just about the Biafra war. But let me share this a little bit short history. The form of fraud to survive in the dire condition created by Nigeria blockade. So Nigeria blockade of Biafra created a lot of things that are happening to our people today. It is not just about this fear of, oh, did you know the history of war? Were you there? Did you know what went? Because, you know, it was well planned that after this war, they will use the fear mantra to try to subjugate every Biafra. When they say, do you know what happened in the war? As if it is only us that have fought war twice. Everybody will say, oh, you know, people died. Is that what you want to go into? My people, they have failed. So the condition created by Nigeria blockade, forgery of passes, and the other document fraudulent commercial transactions, and elaborate scam involving impersonation, racketeering become common in Biafra. Intensifying as the Biafra government ability to enforce the law diminished, using long neglected legal record from Biafra court to the tribunal and all that. The key word here, Biafra Nigeria welfare crime, law, fraud, violence, from this scholar. In October 1969, in the final month of Nigeria Biafra genocidal war, somebody called Arnold became a forger. Arnold was a 16-year-old deserter from the Biafra army and has fended for himself since being separated from his parent when the Republic of Biafra seceded from Nigeria in May 1967. Arnold, afraid of being conscripted again by the bands of soldiers that moved throughout what remained of Biafra then, he wrote up a pass for himself, saying that he was exempt from the military duty. He soon realized that forging passes could be valuable skills. Having no other means to support himself, he began making passes for others. He stole a leaf, a sheaf of letterhead from the Akpan Enin Divisional Office of the Biafra Army, and carved a rubber stamp reading officer of the Commander-in-Chief, Aba Paramilitary Operation. One of his customers was Emmanuel Imo, a nervous young man who paid Arnold to forge a conscription exemption for him. Imo was disappointed by the uncovering document that Mr. Arnold produced. And when Arnold demanded payment from Imo, Imo complained to a policeman. Arnold tried unsuccessfully to swallow the forged passes he has already done. As he was being arrested and partially chewed those papers were presented as evidence against him in the subsequent trial. Like most people who were convicted for fraud in Biafra, Arnold had no prior criminal record. He was found guilty on charges of subversion by the Biafra court. Here was the beginning of fraud you see today. It is not just about 20 pounds given to the Biafra people, but it was a struggle to survive, that you must do everything to survive. That was the bet of what you see today. And the evil people that did this in Nigeria will always tell you, oh, they are the people pushing drug. They did it, so you go into drug pushing. They are the people committing internet scam. It was planned, so you go into internet scam to survive. And that's why there has never been any president of Nigeria, anything within Biafra territory. It's either you survive, make money by yourself, or you die as a poor man. Today, when they arrest Okechukwu in Germany for drug, you will hear Okechukwu. They say, oh, these are Igbo people. They are the one into drug. They arrest Arenze in Thailand for drug pushing. They say, oh, he's facing, they first of all announce the name. His name is Arenze, Igbo. They will begin to publish it in Nigerian news media because they know these things that you don't know. The reason is for them to know that the thing they did is working. So you do not know what they have done to you and your lineage. And the only solution is Biafra. Biafra will create opportunity that Nigeria never give you. Biafra will create that particular opportunity for you as a Biafran to attain your potential and be productive to the society. Nigeria can never, until the disintegration, offer those who have served them the opportunity to attain their potential. Rather, they will create a policy that will make it difficult for you to strive as a person who have something to offer to society. You must go into crime to be able to have the opportunity to become something. Today, from the beginning, from the head to toe in Nigeria, without crime, you can't survive. From the president who went to school as a woman, graduated as a man from America, to the vice president who is not a Nigerian, who was the founder of Boko Haram, and today he is a president, is a vice president of Nigeria. To Ekpa, who was busy bombing pipeline and taking the contract as part of the NDDC to make money to become a senator and a governor. Today, he is the Senate president. And what is happening there? Fraud. Nigeria is a fraudulent country, terrorist country. They pad budget. And when you listen to them defending a padded budget, they will tell you, since they have been in this Senate, allocation for a certain department or sector of the economy has never been in the document of budget, in the budgeted document. So they have to hide it and pad it somewhere. And according to them, why is our own going to be different now? Because they have done it in the past, and that is the norms. It becomes a defense. And people are actually standing on the podium of their so-called National Assembly to speak this thing, to tell you it has been the norms. Why is it different now? And you know what? They fired the person who challenged them. That one is trying to be a good, they are Nigeria, and they fired him. They told him, Nigeria is not a country you are going to stay without crime. For you to continue to remain in the Senate, you must be committing crime with us. And the other person who is his friend, called Ndume, Senator Ndume, he said, I warned him. He didn't listen to me. Meaning that he warned this man not to go and start saying the truth. Because I said Nigeria. As a Nigerian they are. You are breeded to lie. What you are trained to do is to lie, do forgery, do fraud. Any day you want to say truth, you become the enemy. Just like this part of Biafra today, where you are as a part of the government, we started from autopilot. We were saying the truth, exposing the criminals. What did they do? Because these people are the Nigeria, they have Nigeria in their blood, and they were running IPOB and shouting Biafra. And when you see the truth, they say, no, don't say it. Some people even say, even if these criminals are not doing it right, they can never support Simon Ekpa. That is exactly what Nigeria has impacted in them. That is pure Nigeria spirit. It is exactly what is happening at the National Assembly. I want you to just check yourself and think about what I'm saying. What some people are doing in the criminals industry of IPOB Nigeria is exactly what is happening at the Nigeria Senate. Some people say, instead, I will follow Simon Ekpa truth. I will support the criminals. If something is happening, the other one say, instead you are going to say the truth, we are going to sack you and remove you and suspend you from the Senate. And they suspended him. So my people, those of you who are watching today for maybe something have touched you and you see the progress the government has made, I told you people, we are going global now. We have finished the work in Africa. We are going to the Middle East. We are going to the Gulf. We are going to Europe. We're already capturing Europe, and America is next. Our next big news probably will come from Asia or maybe from Arab world. Because we want to tell them we are not against Muslims. We are not fighting war against Muslims. We are fighting against terrorists. And that is exactly what it is. So we are going to target the Arab world. We are going to target America to make sure that the message of Biafra spread across the globe. For those who wish to do business with Biafra government, we are ready to accept them. Like I have said, your enemy can never be my enemy. And whoever that is stretching the hand of friendship and fellowship to Biafra government, we are going to accept that friend. And if the friend is enemy of Europe, sorry, Europe. If the friend is enemy of America, sorry, America. That is exactly the way our own is going to be. We are not different from others who have done it in the past. So this is a hint. The earlier those who are thinking that they are on top of the world realize that we are not going to back down until Biafra come. And it is right time for them to throw their weight before we look at the other way around. The better for them. So I thank you all for this wonderful day. I will never forget this particular birthday. And hopefully, by next year, the celebration will be different. I got Choku. Oku. I thank you. God bless all of you for your prayers, wishes, your gift, and everything.
Thank you. He said.
My fellow Biafrans, there you have it. You have heard from our Prime Minister, His Excellency, Mazi Ekpa Simon Njoko. Permit me today, I may not be able to speak with the same fire as you know I carry in my voice. I may not be able to show the same charisma because I have been in 3 countries, 2 continents within 72 hours, and I've been under the weather. But today I want to buttress my discussions. I want to speak on what the defense headquarters of that zoo called Nigeria, they did over the weekend. I have been observing the zoo. I have been observing their media. I have been watching and analyzing all the news coming through from the media. That the defense headquarters, what they call the DHQ, they mentioned the name of our Prime Minister, Mazi Ekpa Simon Njoko, as part of the names, the most wanted men. They claimed the most wanted list. And in that list, they said it was names of insurgents and violence criminals operating in the southeast and north central zones of Nigeria. The caliphate, the audacity that they have to mention our Prime Minister's name next to the name of the henchman they call Chikedozium. First of all, I want you to understand the psychology behind what they did. The reason why they placed Chikedozium's name before the name of Simon Ekpa, it was a psychological game they were playing, mind games. They wanted it to look as if Chikedozium is more relevant than Simon Ekpa. They placed his name before Simon Ekpa's name so that people will assume that the DOS, they are against the Zoo Republic. We know they are playing these games. We know they are working hand to hand with the Nigerian caliphate. So the Zoo military, the Zoo cabal, the Zoo government, they try to put a wing over our eyes, as they say. They try to play us a very fast one by placing the name of Chikedozium before the name of our Prime Minister, so that those who are naive, those who are not critical thinkers, they will assume, oh, if the name of Chikedozium is before the name of our Prime Minister, it means the DOS, they are doing a good job. It means the DOS, they are being, respected by the zoo. They are more feared than our Prime Minister or than the Biafra Republic government in exile. It means the DOS, they have not sold out. And it means the DOS are not responsible for the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for the fact their so-called head of DOS, in the name of Chikedozium, was in the list published by the defenseless headquarters of the Zoo Republic just sometime over the weekend. My fellow Biafrans, I want you to ignore the naysayers. This is a time for us to keep all eyes on the rising sun. Do not allow them to confuse you. Do not allow them to distract you. Do not allow the Zoo media to hoodwink you and make you lose the focus and make you start to discuss what I call obita the other week, out of point, things that are baseless, things that we shouldn't even be looking at. The list is a distraction. What you should know is that in that Zoo Republic, they know Nigeria is going down. What you should know is that in that Zoo Republic, those who believe in Nigeria this year, they will know that Nigeria will be no more. What you should know is that what is happening in Delta State, I repeat, what is happening in Delta State is the continuation of the pillaging, the killing, the massacre of the Biafrans. They know we, the Biafrans, we are the owners of that land called Okwama, the community in Delta State. They know we are the owners of that land, and they have met upon the people the same destruction, the same pillaging, the same massacre as they did to the people of Biafra. My fellow Biafrans, do not be distracted. We are saying to the people of Okwama, Biafra, we are coming. We are saying to the people of Okwama, be rest assured we are coming to protect you. We are saying to the people of Okwama, be rest assured that our Prime Minister knows what is happening in your land, and we shall do everything humanly possible to protect, safeguard, and secure lives and properties in your land. When our Prime Minister said in the first statement, he said, when God's time, no man can stop it. When God says it is time, no man can stop it. It is the time for Biafra. It is the time for our liberation. We are moving in a new dimension that not even the zoo, not even Britain, their paymasters, have ever seen before. What we are doing is something new. They have never seen this happen before throughout the struggle for Biafra. My fellow Biafrans, today, I want you to hear from somebody all the way from Okwama, an eyewitness account. Those who are in the bushes, those who are hiding in the bushes. One of them has surmounted that courage to come out and speak to us, to let us know what is happening in Okwama. Forget about what the Zoom media they are saying. Forget about the military. Forget about the influence of the media, because for the first time, you have seen that the zoo media, they work hand in hand with the zoo government. For the first time, you have seen that the zoo media, they are not independent. When I call them the gutter media, the dirty gutter media of the Zoo Republic, today you will see that they work hand in hand with the caliphate. They work hand in hand with their politicians. They work hand in hand with the who is who in Nigeria. They work hand in hand with those exploiting the resources of our Biafra land. And now they work hand in hand with the Nigerian military. Because for the first time, a military, they have taken the law over everybody else. They have taken matters into their hand that not even the so-called president of that zoo can influence them. When we tell you that Tinubu is not in control, you guys, you sometimes think we are saying things out of the ordinary. But before your eyes, in Okwama, the military, they have decided to take over the land. They have subjugated the land. They have taken dominion over the land. And your Nigerian government, they cannot even stop them. Not even the governor of Delta State can go into the land of Okwama to see what is happening in the land. When we tell you that the Nigerian military, controlled by the Zoo Caliphate, by the Fulani Cabal, they are the rulers of Nigeria. Some of you, the deaf, the dumb, the blind, you assume that we are saying nonsense. You say you love your Nigeria, you love the military, you say God bless Nigeria, you say you believe in one Nigeria. But before your eyes, a genocide is happening in Okwama. There is a massacre. The media are not allowed to go in there to report the news. Only those people who are in there on the ground are the military. They have stopped any form of food support going into the land of Okwama. The citizens, those living in that community, they have deserted the land and they are now in their bushes. My fellow Biafrans, I want us to listen to an eyewitness, somebody who saw what happened. When I said Tompolo brought his men, when I say because Tompolo is working with the caliphate, he brought his men to do what they did in Okwama. Some of you, you don't believe me. But I want you to hear from somebody, an eyewitness account, who saw what happened and he has summoned the courage to show his face. Listen to this man, listen to his discussion, and I'll come back. Listen.
This one, now be my last video when I go do concerning this Okuama and Okoloba fight. Okuama and Okoloba, they get land issue. The land issue, small crisis called a day. Oh now, we be Ijaw people. We federal government give power to the bomb buckery, to the bomb diesel, and they cook. They use the same army, they escort their own, they go sell. They betray their own blood. That man, he go use the army, carry people from Okuama community. 3 people where they carry, they slaughter them. Now, they come back to come carry community leaders. And I know very well, say, once the community leaders are captured, the youth are powerless. The action take place. When they make comments, say, na peacekeeping, all those army come. Point of correction, no army come for peacekeeping. They fight in favor of Tompolo, because Tompolo have ordered them to do so. When they say, make I show my face, all these are comments, when they comment, now just ordinary written. Now writing, or just a write. If I know if you talk true for this my land, you know get where I go when I go talk true, when I go believe am. Now this video be the last video when I go do. My papa, a retired captain for this Nigeria. He died last year. He retired as a captain in the army. And I don't lost over 6 of my friends and relatives for this Nigeria. Remember, as an army, this Nigeria is not worth dying for as a country. And they let you know. So, if you wanna like, when I carry this matter from here to the next level, if you wanna like, my federal government declare me wanted. I'm proud of it. Yes, I'm proud of it. Now they say show your face. If I show my face, what do you go do me? What do you go do me? So to talk true for this country now a crime. No wonder where they say truth is always bitter. Crisis, day between 2 communities. When I know if you call the elders, I know if you call the leaders to settle the issue amicably. You they want oppress one side for other side. You they call them peacekeeping. And so they keep peace. Okay, now go school pass. Now know the law pass. Now so, oppression. This country, if not before one thing, I foresee, make it be like that. North, day or north. South, day or south. All army, if you serve this country, serve with sense. If you be police, police with sense. This Nigeria, your country is not worth dying for. I dey tell now, no not get sense.
There you have it, my people. There you have it. To the whole world, you wanted a first-hand account. There you have it. To the media around the whole world, this is something the Nigerian government, this is something the Nigerian media, they will never tell you. They are in cahoots with the Nigerian military. Nigerian military, they are being controlled by the Fulani Caliphate. Those who Britain told they were born to rule Nigeria. Those that Britain gave access to the whole resources of Nigeria. And those who went into contract with the man they call Tompolo to protect the pipeline. And at the same time, he is now the one controlling the foot soldiers all across the land of Biafra, where they call Niger Delta. You've heard from an eyewitness, where he said what is happening is all about oil bunkery. The situation happening in Okuama community is all about the oil. Who gets a better share of the oil? One community being protected by Tompolo and the Zoo military and the Zoo government. They are allowed to exploit the oil. They are allowed to siphon the oil. But the other community, that have the oil, the real owners of the oil, they cannot even do anything with the oil. When they try to do what their neighbors are doing, the military, they come down to kill the people. You heard how they came to arrest the community leaders. And this young man, he made a very profound revelation. He said, you all know that when the community leaders are kidnapped, the people become helpless. It means when a leader is kidnapped, the people or the followers of the leaders become helpless. This was the game they tried to play in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They assume that kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will mean the automatic end of Biafra agitation. The caliphate, they went with the same blue script. To some of you who say the caliphate, they are less educated, you say they are not sophisticated enough in their vocabulary. The thing you forget to understand is that they run with the same blue, the blue script, or what they call it, the blueprints given to them by Britain. So it is not hard for somebody to apply a blueprint. It's all about the application, because the cabal, they get all what they need from Britain. They do all what they are doing in that Zoo Republic via Britain, and Britain is responsible for what is happening in Nigeria. You all said that the army, they came as peacemakers. The Zoo media, they claim they love the army, the Nigerian army. They gave a 3 days mourning for the Nigerian army, and they claim they love the Nigerian army. But for the whole world, you have heard from this young man, a man whose life is in danger. He is still in the bushes. He is still in the thick forest of Okwama community. And he has told you that the military, they did not come for no peacekeeping. They came to subjugate the people. They came to overpower the people at the command of the man they call Tompolo. Let the Zoo media know that we are watching, that we, the Biafrans in diaspora, we are watching them. We saw what he did to us in the Biafran war. What is happening in Okwama happened during the time of the Biafran war. There was food blockade in the Biafran war, the same way there is a food blockade in Okwama. The people who died in the Biafran war, we keep telling you, over 7 million people died. But the Zoo media, they want to lie that just more than 1.something million people died. In the case of Okwama, thousands of people have been killed. The communities, they've been killed. But the military, they have refused to allow anybody, not even the governor of the state, was allowed to access the Okwama community. They are trying to hide something. Not even the Zoo media. This beats my imagination. That's a media who claim to be independent. A media who claim they are there to checkmate the Zoo government. A media who say their main role is to be fair, to be neutral, and say things the way it is. Their slogan all the time, you hear they keep on saying they want to speak truth to power. They want to expose to the world the actions or inactions of the government of that zoo called Nigeria. But for the first time, the Zoo media, they are not complaining that the Nigerian military, they have stopped them from accessing the land, from having a first-hand account of what is happening in Okwama, Delta State, and also in Delta State. My fellow Biafrans, like I said, I am under the weather. I will not be able to proceed afterwards, but I hope that sometime within this week, I will feel much better. If I'm stronger tonight, I might come back to follow up and do an in-depth analysis of the video of this young man that is now shattering the whole submissions of the military and the Zoo media. What this man has said about what is happening in Oklahoma State, the Zoo government, the Zoo media, and the Nigerian military, they are fighting, they are working night and day to make sure this man's voice is not heard. But I have put this voice out for the whole world to hear. So for those who are being confused, those who are trying to change the narrative, those who are saying the defense headquarters of Nigeria, they are in a, they are in a lookout for our Prime Minister, His Excellency M0ST Simon Ekpa. They said they have put him in their so-called most wanted list. I tell you, please do not be distracted. Our Prime Minister is hale and hearty. Our Prime Minister is doing a great job. And this year, we shall actualize Biafra. For the naysayers who are a bit confused, seeing the name of Chike Doziem written before the name of Simon Ekpa in the so-called most wanted list, I want you not to think about it. It is just a way to confuse you, not to convince you, for you to assume that the DOS who have been sacked by our Prime Minister, they want us to assume that the DOS, they have more influence. They are more of a critical stakeholder of those that are against the Nigerian government. We know the IPOB Nigeria Limited are working hand in hand with the Nigerian government. Somebody like me, I have my third eye open. They cannot confuse me. Chike Doziem is in their pockets. The DOS are working hand in hand with them. The only man who is doing the job right now is M0ST Ekpa Simon Njoko, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Do not be confused. Do not be distracted. Do not for any reason assume that Chike Doziem is wanted by the Nigerian government. No, they work hand in hand. They work hand in hand because for the past 2 years, they have done nothing. Their intention, their plan is to pretend as if the ESN is active so that the Nigerian government may use the activities of ESN against M0ST Kanu in court. As you have seen, the so-called treason and felony charges against our eternal leader M0ST Kanu has been thrown into dustbins. It has gone into the annals of history. It is no more. Their new charge now against our leader is terrorism. Terrorism means to terrorize the people, to terrorize a nation, and the only way that could stick, the only way they can get something out of thin air, if the Biafrans, they mistakenly assume that the Eastern Security Network, known as ESN, are still active. Last time we heard from our Prime Minister, the ESN has been disbanded, the ESN has been dissolved, and the only good men from there are now working with the Biafra Liberation Army. So to my people of Biafra, I say rejoice. It's a time for us to rejoice. This is the last kick of a dying horse. This is the last dice being thrown by the Fulani Caliphate, by the Fulani government, and by the Fulani cabal. They know they have been defeated. They know on the international level, we have defeated them. They know on the local level, we are defeating them. So they are coming with all gimmicks. Please, 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 do not be distracted. All we need to say is that the man they call Gowon, Yakubu Gowon, must not die. The man they call Gowon must not die. He must see us rise. He must see the children of God to rise. Ignore the distractions. Keep on praying for Yakubu Gowon to stay alive. We have our eyes on the rising sun. We have our eyes on the ball. We shall remain focused towards actualizing Biafra. From me, from here, for now, I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I remain yours truly, Biafra Superstars Media. God bless you, and please pray for me to have a speedy recovery. Thank you, and God bless. Bye-bye.
Simon! bag were na nwa m were sị gị na be ya eji ezi bag na dị ibe ya eji wee na wa chisibe eyi ezi nwa ikpekwala anyị nkwanye ya na-asa anyị na nsogbu adịghị ụjọ atụ na anyị n'ịnọ ya oke mmụọ ka iwu nwa ma ọkụ ịmụ nyere ya enwugide ruo mgbe ebi na Biafra onye anyụ na-ata ya ka nji si n'iwe onye ndu nwa ya were nwa ji mee maka sojila wee na-amara bat oke mmụọ ezi nwa m ichi odumede kenedegu tuwegu gowere nawa ọkwụgo etuwere ga ya ebeja buche take ugo etuwere guja chake cha maka na ndị be anyị si na ugo buzuo chake nwa m ịchake ndị o nweghị ibe ya kwụsị gị nụ ihe na-eji ihe na-ana nwa m oke nwa ka ewu ọbata obie nwa m ndị Finland si n'iwu ọpụta obie eyi Finland kpọrọ gị ọpụta obie ndị Igbo na Finland nechala gị anya kpọọ gị ọpụta obie ndị mbụ na ndị egede wee kpazie ego ọbata obie nwa m ịbatala ndị obi gị ogbenu ụmụ Biafra na-ekene gị na-anye gị ogologo ndụ ara isi ike osisi owu na si na ya adagbugu ya adagbuchie mmadụ owu na si na ya awụ nsogbu gị ya awụ nsogbu akara aka ya dụrụ onwe ya dụrụ ezinụlọ ya onye jiri ifeọma bịakwute gị ifeọma kpọkwa ya iru onye jiri ife ọjọọ bịakwute gị ife ọjọọ kpọkwa ya iru onye ji nke ọma dore ya na mma nke onye ji nke ọjọọ dore ya na mgbe ezi nwanne m gịnị